Studio Classroom is on the air. It's a place to learn and a place to share. Connect with others everywhere. There are things to learn and there's things to know. So please stay tuned and watch the show.
Hello, and welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. My name is Gabe. I was just practicing my surfing poses. Have you ever been surfing? It's a lot of fun. Well, the title of today's lesson is Surf's Up. That's kind of a cool phrase, and we're going to talk about that phrase later. Now, surfboards come in different shapes, and there are many great surfing spots around the world, right? But is surfing eco-friendly? That is it good for the environment? That's what we're going to find out today in a section called Green Surfing. Yes, green surfing. Also, where are the best beaches for surfing? Where are the best beaches for surfing? That's all coming up right away. Let's begin.
Surf's Up! Green surfing. Today, many surfers play an interesting and unique role in environmental affairs. They are often first to notice things like oil or dying coral in the water. They can then play a part in bringing public attention to these problems. More recently, however, it's been pointed out that surfing isn't a particularly green sport. Surfboards release chemicals into the water, and wetsuits are often made using oil. In response, eco-boards have been developed using vegetable-based materials.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. 今天的第一个重点，我们看的是 environmental 这个形容词。我们看到这个字里面有 environment 环境这个名词，所以 environmental 是指有关环境的或者是自然环境的。例如 global warming is an important environmental issue that all nations should deal with. 温室效应是一个每一个国家都要解决的重要的环保议题。Environmental 也指环保的，例如 several environmental groups are lobbying about this proposal. 有好几个环保团体都在为这个提案游说。接下来我们看的是 release 这个动词 ，release 在这里是指释放或排放。例如 the device will steadily release medicine into the bloodstream. 这个装置会稳定的释放药剂进入血流中。release 也可以指宣泄或释放某种情绪。例如 Chuck releases his tension by cooking. Chuck 用烹饪来释放他的压力。Release 也可以当名词，例如 The release of the radioactive substance is now under control. 这个放射性物质的外泄现在已经控制住了。
Thank you so much, Michelle. Okay, Rebecca's back with her surfboard. Hey, Rebecca.
Yes, Gabe?
We went through a whole day yesterday without even talking about our own surfing experiences. Have you ever been surfing?
Gabe, I mentioned yesterday that I had tried surfing.
Oh, you tried surfing?
Yeah, I used to go surfing at 5:30 in the morning. That's a great time to go surfing. Okay, let me tell you, since you're asking me about my experience. This was a couple of summers ago. And work started at 8 o'clock, and it was about a 45-minute drive from where the beach was. So I would get up at 5 in the morning, go surfing, I'd catch some waves, brave the waves, and then go to work.
Wait a minute. So you actually succeeded in surfing?
You mean did I stand up?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I went out there, I paddled on the surfboard, then I waited and waited for the perfect wave. And then I stood up.
Wait.
And rode the waves.
So, Rebecca, you're a good surfer.
Hey, I didn't say I was a good surfer. I just said that
I have gone surfing.
Well, you know what? You're probably a better surfer than I am. I've gone probably 3 or 4 times, but I've only been able to stand up on the surfboard once that I can remember.
Okay, we should have a competition sometime, a
No,
surfing
no.
competition.
Oh, that's okay. Let's just teach the lesson today. We're talking about green surfing. I have gone swimming in green water before, and I think that's what this is talking about, right?
Ew.
Kind of going out.
Ew, you've gone swimming in green water?
Well,
And what were you saying about green surfing?
well, green surfing, surfing in green water, right?
Gabe,
What?
no. We're not talking about surfing in green water. You know the word green actually refers to the environment, environmental issues.
Yes, of course. If something is green, it's eco-friendly. That's what this section is all about. And we read today, many surfers play an interesting and unique role in environmental affairs.
And before you continue, Gabe, you brought up some great words. That is to play an interesting or play a role or part in something. That just means that you take part in something. You're a part of it.
Okay, for example, Luke is an important man. He plays an important role here at Studio Classroom. So you can use an adjective in that sentence to play an important role, to play a significant role. Now let's use the word part. For example, he plays a big part in the events that he does. Okay, or he played a big part in the wedding, for example. He made a lot of decisions. He planned a lot of things. Use these words and sentences in your own way.
Gabe,
Yeah?
if we could have a competition as to whose example sentence is better, yours is definitely better, because mine is just, well, Nate played a very big role in preparing tonight's meal. But
Yeah.
you actually used Luke as an example. That's great.
Well, you're always talking about food and meals and stuff. That's great.
Because I like to cook. I like to prepare meals. And I like to create people who also enjoy preparing meals.
Yes, encourage others who also like cooking. That's very good. You play an important role here, Rebecca. Okay, friends, we're finding out that surfers today play an important role in environmental issues, okay, or affairs. They are often first to notice things like oil or dying coral in the water. Now, I'm glad they mentioned this, because if you like scuba diving, you've probably seen lots of coral in the water, but it probably doesn't look nice and beautiful and pink and colorful like this. A lot of coral is dying around the world. It's not as colorful as it once was.
Exactly. And continuing, we read, they can play a part in bringing public attention to these problems. And of course, they is referring to the surfers. More recently, however, it's been pointed out that surfing isn't a particularly green sport. Let's talk about this word pointed out. I'm going to point that word out.
Oh, very nice. Yes, okay. So to point something out. This means to bring something to someone's attention. Okay, so maybe the fact is there, but people are ignoring it or they don't really notice it. But now someone is pointing it out, so everybody notices it. Here's another example. After we got tickets to Indonesia, my sister pointed out that we were going in the rainy season. If we knew that before we got the tickets, we maybe would have gone to Indonesia at another time in the year.
Excellent. Or here's another example. We were all planning on going swimming today until... Are you trying to look at my example?
It's a good example.
It is. It is. Until Clark pointed out that the swimming pool was closed. Therefore, they could no longer go swimming.
Okay, so who is most familiar with the oceans? Surfers are. However, we read, it's been pointed out that surfing isn't particularly a green sport. Surfboards release chemicals into the water, and wetsuits are often made using oil. In response, eco-boards have been developed using vegetable-based minerals. Okay, so surfers realize this problem, or that there is a problem So now they're doing something about it. They're creating eco-boards, eco-friendly surfboards.
And of course, we're talking about green surfing. But you know that word green? I think it has many different meanings. And the guys in the info cloud would like to talk about that right now.
All right.
Hello, friends. When you hear the word green, what do you think of? Vegetables, maybe, or plants, perhaps?
Indeed, greens can refer to vegetables. I still remember my mom telling me to eat my greens when I was little.
I do too. So, eat your greens is just another way of saying eat your vegetables. In this case, greens are edible plants. What about plants that aren't edible?
Well, there's the word greenery, which refers to green foliage or leaves. The park has acres of greenery right in the heart of the city.
And if you have a green thumb, you're good at growing plants. Why? Because most plants are green.
Finally, if you go green, you live in a way that helps protect the environment. In this definition, green means eco-friendly. So if you decide to recycle or ride your bike or walk to work instead of drive a car, you're going green.
我们来看 green 这个字，它往往是和植物有关的，像片语 have a green thumb 是指在园艺这一方面很拿手，不管是种花或者种菜，一个有 green thumb 的人一定会把这些植物养得很好。如果你妈妈叫你 eat your greens， 就是要你吃青菜。注意在这个用法 greens 要用复数。green 也可以指环保或是有环保概念的。如果你 go green 就表示你开始做一些有助于自然环境的行动，像资源回收或者是装设太阳能板。另外还有 greenery， 那这个字呢也表示绿色的植物或绿意。The greenery in the city 就是城市当中的绿意。这就是今天的 Info Cloud，再见。